Reem Asaad, Vice President, Middle East and Africa, Cisco. Thank you very much indeed for joining us here at Economy Middle East.
My pleasure to be with you today.
Thank you. Now, let's start by asking you, what are some of the biggest trends in the tech industry today, and how you at Cisco are helping businesses in the region embrace those trends?
You know, it's really interesting because our region is really transforming. And when you look at our region, it's made up of a large number of emerging and developing countries. And the transformation is happening, and we see this in communities, how we're touching our communities when it comes to healthcare, to make it accessible, education, to make it engaging, a solid infrastructure for our governments to provide government services. And what's driving all of this is the desire and the appetite to bridge the digital divide and have truly a digital economy. And as you know, our region is trying very hard to reduce the reliance on oil and gas, especially in the GCC, and really bridge into the digital economy. And the only way I see it to do this is through technology. So the businesses are really keen to embrace technology to be able to drive this transformation. And in Cisco, we see clearly 5 trends that are changing the landscape. And this is what we're working with our companies, the organization, governments, to help them adopt and pivot to these changes. I think the first change we see is that, especially post-COVID, it all became about the customer experience, the citizen experience. So it's all about applications, right? How we see applications today, they're becoming very distributed. It's all at the end connected through the web, and then you're trying to get services out of it. So I believe applications are the currency of the business today. And we're reimagining applications now. So we're seeing from businesses whether they want to have applications that are on-prem because they have sovereign data, or whether it's on the public cloud, whether it's consumed in a different way, the routes to market even as a service, whether applications are being rewritten as native cloud code, but applications are shifting and transforming. So this is a big trend that we're seeing and helping our customers with that. As you change and transform applications, it's very important to think about the underlying infrastructure. And the infrastructure today is you're dealing with different work streams because everything is distributed applications now. So you have a multitude of hybrid clouds around you, public clouds, and how you're doing all this with software-defined networking. So it's evolving, and the infrastructure has to be much stronger. So we're seeing a major investment into the infrastructure to be able to serve these new applications. But not only that, so as you look into the workplace today, and here in the UAE, we had a good study that came out recently, and it shows that 62% of citizens in the UAE, for example, are leveraging the internet from home to run their own business or to work from home. So the third important trend we're seeing is the hybrid work. And now we're dealing with different work streams. So whether you're working from the office, whether you're working from somewhere, whether you're traveling, it is all distributed now, and we're getting so many different work streams. At the end, we want the experience to be the same, and it needs to be inclusive. So whether you're in the office, you need to be able to collaborate with your peers. You need to feel that if you go to the office, it's a magnet. It's not a chore, right? And you're able to be productive. So the hybrid work is changing, and the offices are changing, and how we attract the talent to be in the offices and how we drive productivity is also changing. And when you talk about all this distribution, then of course, the most important thing is security, because now we're all connected one way or another. But we're also, with connectivity comes that we're all vulnerable, right? Because you're exposed to cybersecurity now. The biggest threats we're seeing are cybersecurity threats. So how do you detect this? How you simplify security? How you do all of that is through focusing on security. So this is the biggest trend we're seeing now, is security, and how you build cyber resiliency in security. And as you're doing these major 4 trends that I spoke about, whether it's the applications and how you reimagine the applications, whether powering your infrastructure to be able to deal with this, whether it's the new hybrid work model, or whether you're talking about all of this requires sustainability, because sustainability is at heart. So it's not a standing thing, or security. It's all about sustainability, and it's the biggest and most important agenda item that I talk to when I meet with any of our CEOs or CIOs. It's part of the ESG's priorities. It's on the board agenda. It's in their sustainability, how they report on sustainability, how do they procure a new infrastructure, that is really helping them with their emissions, managing their emissions, managing their pledges for emission controls. So if you ask me what are the trends we're seeing, is those 5 that I laid out that are the most important.
Great. And if I can break it down, in terms of innovative solutions and services, is there anything in particular you're showcasing here at GITEX this year?
You know, the theme of GITEX today is AI, right? How AI can really change and transform the future. And it's funny because AI is not new to Cisco at all. So when I think about predictive AI, everything we have been doing in Cisco for years and years at scale has been leveraging AI. So if you think about the world in general, it all starts from the network, right? So all the predictive analytics of running networks. How do you build cloud services on top of this? How do you build security on top of this? How do you do collaboration and connectivity? How do you do observability? All the stuff or the applications that Cisco is offering, it's based on simplifying the network, understand the analytics that come out of the network, and leveraging these analytics in a predictive way. And that we have been doing for ages, right? Mm-hmm. But I think with the advent now of generative AI, I think that's the addition that we've been focusing on in 3 major areas in Cisco. How to introduce generative AI in all our solutions. And when I say that, I mean networking, the network itself, the data centers, the security, the hybrid work. So everything we're doing is related to having a ethical generative AI. I think it's a very important point of reference. It needs to be ethical and it needs to be well vouched for, right? So with that, also cloud services, how you can leverage this. So the solutions that we're coming up with as far as innovation in GITEX today, for example, is related to embedding AI in that, cloud services, and of course, top of mind is cybersecurity for us, and building a resilient cyber cloud that is leveraging generative AI to be able to simplify security, predict what's going to happen, self-correct and self-heal, and also help with the analytics to avoid threat attacks and build resiliency in the network. And when you power a network with security, at the heart of it is AI, then this is something very powerful. And Cisco is very proud that these are the solutions that we're showcasing here today. And the use cases of this, whether it's in healthcare, and how you can do telemedicine, how you can do remote care, home care through wearables and leveraging AI in this. In education, how you can have the classroom of the future, how you can have the campus of the future, and how, again, through the convergence of IoT and OT, you can do that. It's about manufacturing, how we can leverage industrial manufacturing, Industry 4.0 and AI to be able to help in all the plants, in mining, in leveraging automation and robotics and AI and AR and VR into hazardous areas. So these are some of the showcases we're showcasing. And of course, hybrid work, because this is top of mind, how you can leverage all these channels to be able to have a productive and simplified environment where everybody can be productive and feels included and part of the work ecosystem.
Wonderful. And you mentioned cybersecurity, but in terms of AI, how about cybersecurity measures to enhance? What enhancing measures are you taking in the region?
Yeah, so as I said, it's very powerful when you are the networking company of the world. And for us, security has been always in our DNA. So it's not something, it's always been embedded in the network, and it's not just bolted on top of it. So as I said, we've been always using predictive AI, right, in cybersecurity, meaning looking at the logs, our analytics, predicting what's going to happen, and leveraging this as to build a resilience cybersecurity platform. With the advent now of generative AI and adding that, we have launched, and one of the innovations we're launching today is our cloud security, AI empowered cloud security. So this is when you simplify security, it becomes one platform, one single pane of glass, where you have all the security embedded into this, whether it's the endpoint, the user, whether it's a laptop, whether it's a mobile, whether it's any endpoint you're connecting with, whether it's the data center connecting, whether it's from the office, whether it's the network. All parts are part of this, covered under this cloud umbrella and AI empowered to be able to leverage the best security you can get. And at the end, you need to think about it. It all starts with the infrastructure, so the hardware itself. And our hardware is using AI-enabled chips in it, so that's where the innovation comes, right? When the chip itself, the hardware, has AI into it. The software that you're writing, which is security, where you do all the software and the software developing the applications. It's the databases that you've been accumulating and the metadata, and you top of this with analytics. And for me, when you use AI from the hardware to the software to the databases to the analytics and leverage all this to simplify security and be able to manage security resiliency, this is the innovation we're bringing today in Cisco. And as you know, we announced also the potential acquisition of Splunk, and it's a big investment from Cisco, $28 billion. And this affirms again our focus, our investment into security. And it's not foreign to Cisco. I think when I look at the spend of R&D in Cisco, we spend about $6 to $7 billion US a year in R&D. And to date, we have about 25,000 patents in technology. So definitely security is on top of this.
Wonderful. Reem Asaad, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.